Okay, I'm starting this one sooner than I usually do because I want to remember the two things that I wanted to tell you about this afternoon. First one, like I said this morning, is garage door openers specifically. And the second is parking spots. So which one should we start with first? Let's start with the garage door openers because it'll probably take longer. No. We're going to start with parking spots. Parking spots is the easier place to start because it's relevant to where I am right now. I'm just pulling out of the parking lot at school. And the thing that frustrates me is that people, my colleagues included, do not park in the same spot every time. And it doesn't make any sense to me. I am a creature of habit. I am a human being. I'm a human being with an obsessive-compulsive disorder that likes consistency, efficiency, and convenience. And it doesn't make sense to me, as an individual, why you wouldn't want those things. I understand there are arguments for it and against it, but it doesn't make sense to me. There is no argument that you can make that would make me believe any differently about the importance of being consistent, efficient, and convenient. I'm going to shut the sunroof here to keep down on the noise. So, I like to try and park in the same spot every single day. Unfortunately, my colleagues don't feel the same. And I could combat this very, very simply by just showing up earlier. And there are some people that do park in the same spot every day. And to those people, I say thank you. Thank you very, very much. Because it makes my life easier. I know whose car is parked where. That way, one, when I show up in the morning, I know who's not there. I know who's sick or who may be running late. And it just makes my day easier. It leaves less to be figured out. You know, I'm able to go about my day without thinking about too many more things. But there are others that like to jockey between 2 or 3 spots in the parking lot. And the same concept can be applied to the lunchroom too, the teacher's lounge. I would prefer to sit in the same seat every single day. But there are other people that just does not apply to. Like, I would prefer to have my spot. And while I have not made that known, and I'm really in no position to make it known because there are several people that have more seniority than me that have been there longer that I have to suck it up and abide by their will, as it were. Because they are ahead of me. They are, in a sense, my authority figures. Although we are in the same position professionally, they have more say-so in things than I do. So that's why I don't really put up a big stink about it. But it doesn't frustrate me any less. People don't park in the same spots. Why? Muscle memory, if for no other reason, should lead you to the same spot each time. You pull into the parking spot in the same entrance every single day. Wouldn't it make sense to just let your arms and hands guide you to the same spot? Because as creatures of habit, we tend to follow the same routines. We wake up around the same time, we leave around the same time, we arrive around the same time. Why not park around the same place or in the same place? Especially when the spot you were in yesterday is still available today. Like, I can understand if maybe there's a sub or somebody else decided they wanted to park there, or maybe there's a parent that's visiting or has a meeting in the morning and they're in your spot. Like, I get that. But when the spot you were in yesterday is still available and you decide to park in a different one, to borrow from a colleague of mine, I want to stick a hot poker up your butt. Like, just get on board with the idea that it's easier on everybody if you just go to the same spot every single day. Form a routine and get used to it. Either pull in forward or back in or pull all the way through. But don't park in a different spot every single day. That's the first topic. Second thing. Has to do with parking also. I park my car in a garage every single night. And the garage door opener in my car is not the one that comes with the machine when it's installed. I have a programmable garage door opener in my car. It can hold 3 different garage door codes. And up until last night, I could open my parents' garage door, I could open my old apartment garage door, and I could open my current house's garage door. Now, it may make more sense to say, okay, I should have just cleared it anyway, because I still have access to my parents' house. I could very easily reprogram it had I reset them. The thing is, if you want to clear out one of them, you have to clear out all of them. That's the annoying part. I wish you could just clear out one at a time. Like, I would have cleared out my apartment one long ago. But in order to do that, I would have had to have cleared my parents' and my current house. So, rather than do that, I just added my house to the third one. Well, now my house is at the first one, because last night, as I said, I was helping Mary Jane pack the car for their trip and was messing with Ellie's DVD player. And while I was outside, as people do, I was doing one task. When it was done, I was like, oh, well, while I'm out here, I might as well do this or this or this. I got a lot of little things done that I would not have otherwise devoted a whole lot of time to. And one of those was on the side of our garage door. We have one of those keypads, one of those code unlocker things. And it was still set for the previous owners. Their code was still in there, and we didn't know what it was, and we hadn't cleared it out. So I did a little reading, found the owner's manual, and figured out how to reset that. But in the process of doing it, you have to reset it from a little button on the opener itself, on the motor. And so in the process of resetting the keypad, I reset every other garage door opener connected to the car, to the garage. Mary Jane's opener in her car no longer worked, and mine in my car no longer worked. So I had to go back through and reprogram them. And in the process of reprogramming mine, I then had to clear out all the other 3. It took longer than it probably should have, but I got it done. So now my garage is programmed to the number 1 setting in my car, and the other 2 are empty. So I'll just have to reprogram it to my parents, and then I'll have a third one. Maybe I'll do grandma's or something like that, since I go over there and help her out once in a while. Maybe that's what I'll do, or I'll just have an empty third one for a while. But that was my adventure last night, was reprogramming the garage door openers. All said and done, it's finished. Mary Jane's opener works, my opener works. We now have the code for the keypad. But then, as I got into the house last night, we have an opener. Our garage is not attached to the house. So there is, in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to open our garage, the power door. And so there's Mary Jane's opener in her car, which is the one that comes with the unit, but it's a programmable unit. It's not just automatically connected. You have to, if you reset the opener or the motor, you have to reset or reprogram that clicker. There's the one in the garage, which is just the button on the wall that's hardwired into the motor. There's no programming involved in that. It's hardwired in, it's connected permanently. There's the keypad on the outside of the garage, which is, again, connected wirelessly, so anytime the motor's reset, you have to reset that opener. And then there's one in the house, and that one is also wireless. It's not hardwired in. You could essentially take it off the wall. It's a wall-mounted opener. It looks just like the one that's in the garage, but it's wireless. And I didn't find that out till I repainted the kitchen the other day. That was fun to find out. So you could essentially take that off the wall and put it in the car, and it would still work. And there's not even a power source to it. There's no battery or anything. I don't understand how it even works, but it works. But because it's wireless, when the motor's reset, that one is reset too. So I go in the house last night, and I go to hit that button on the wall like I usually do, and I listen for the door to shut. I'm like, why isn't the door shutting? So then I had to go back outside, and the thing about reprogramming them is, if you press the button to set it, you only have 30 seconds to get from the opener, or from the motor of the garage door, to the opener you want to program. Now, I could have taken the thing off the wall out to the garage with me and had no problem. But that would have been a process, and I didn't want to deal with it. So instead, I went outside, we left the door open to the kitchen, and I told Mary Jane, when I push this button, go ahead and hold the opener to program it. So it was just another little process, one more thing that I had forgotten. But I know for next time. And that's nice. So that was an adventure last night as well. But it's done, it's accomplished, it's finished. The only other thing I did last night at the end of the night before going in was I had to recharge or refill the refrigerant in Mary Jane's car. As I said in the past, her air conditioning was giving us some trouble. I had refilled it once, and it worked. It did well. We didn't hear, any signs of leaks or anything like that after we had the hose replaced. But last night I went to turn it on, and the little snowflake button in the car that means the air conditioner's on was blinking, and then it didn't stay on, and that was what was happening the last time when it was giving us trouble. And I thought, oh no. So we took a run to the grocery store. I bought another bottle of refrigerant and a gauge to check the pressure in the line. And by the time we got home, it was working again, but I figured I'd put a little bit more in it just to top it off and make sure it worked for their trip, because it's going to be hot in Arizona and Texas this week, ladies and gentlemen, and next week. And I don't want them to be uncomfortable, especially with a car full of stuff and a toddler, because that would not be a pleasant trip if everybody was hot and sweaty the whole time. So that was yesterday's adventure. Today at school was a fairly pleasant day. No complaints overall. I think the kids are finally coming around to realizing what I expect from them, which is nice, but I wish it would have happened maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But they're just a little bit slow on the uptake. They're late bloomers, as it were. They're not as mature as they probably should be. So it's a battle, but it's one that I'm willing to fight, because I think it's important to bring these kids up well. And if I'm the only consistency they have in the day, then I need to make the most of it. So that's all I got. 12 and a half minutes seems good. Enjoy tonight, and I'll see ya in